Good morning. I'm here with La Habra City Mayor Pro Tem Tim Shaw. And I've asked Tim to come in today to tell you, the apartment owner, what's going on in the La Habra community as it affects apartment owners. So Tim, thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure. Thank
Tell
you.
my friends who own apartments what's going on in the city that they should be concerned about or interested in or excited about.
Well, if you drive around La Habra, you'll see there's a lot of exciting things going on. We just opened our new City Hall building, which has been a big deal for us. And if you go down Beach Boulevard, you'll probably see a new apartment building that's about finished. It'll be a 4-story, 335-unit apartment complex. So
It's across from the restaurant there, Fairfield?
Fairfield is the developer. It's right across from the Black Bear Diner,
Right.
just north of Imperial Highway. So looks great. I mean, it was a $100 million investment project to do that. So it's 335 units. Will be terrific.
When is that going to open?
Just in a couple months. They're trying to lease out some of the spaces.
Will you be there for the ribbon cutting?
I plan on it.
So tell us what's going on beyond that, or anything in the state capitol that's going on that we
Yeah,
should be concerned.
I mean, La Habra I think is doing great, and we got great policies in place. The challenge is we're in the state of California, and so we're going to be kind of dealing with some of the things that at the statewide level. The chairman of the Assembly Housing Committee, Assemblyman Chu, has introduced legislation, AB 1506, that would repeal the Costa-Hawkins Act. And as you well know,
That's rent control.
that was the rent control. So back in the mid-90s, that law went into effect saying that any new homes, new properties going forward would not have rent control put on them. Couldn't have that. This bill would just basically simply repeal that law so a local city could, if they wanted to, start imposing rent control even on the newly built properties. So
Democrats have a super majority, so that should pass, right?
well, it could pass. We'll see if we can get presumably every Republican to be against that, but you might get some moderate Democrats to oppose it, and maybe even Governor Brown to veto it.
So heads up, apartment owners, there could be rent control in our near future if Mayor Pro Tem Shaw's information is correct. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that's a scary one. The same guy has introduced a bill that would repeal the mortgage interest deduction on second homes. So if you happen to have a second home, they wouldn't let you deduct that interest on your taxes, and so that's another one of grave concern.
So what else is going on in the city that?
Well, we're kind of dealing with, like every city, with the state having the early release of prisoners. So there was, AB 109 and all these. The changes in the law recently have basically lessened the offense if you were caught doing something bad, and just letting people out of prison early. So we're ending up with more bad guys on the streets, basically, and that's we're having to deal with the uptick in crime and property crime in particular. So like every other city, we're kind of having to deal with that issue. So making sure our police department's fully staffed, fully equipped, and ready to go. That's the best we can do at the city level to try to deal with that.
I know, Tim, with the police officer that was killed in Whittier, that the mayor was talking about some new initiatives or some political involvement to try to reverse that law or to do something about that. There's nothing you can do, right?
Well,
if they make a decision to unload the prisons.
At the state, they're dealing with the fact the court had found the prison conditions to be unconstitutional. So I get that they had that challenge, but the answer is not to just let them all out now. I mean, you needed to deal with that situation, I think, differently. And there were options at the time. I actually worked for a state senator at the time, and he was trying to find options to improve the quality, the conditions in the prisons, and keep the costs under control without just letting them out the door.
So I don't want to alarm you, apartment owners, but your next rental application might be an early release prisoner. So keep that in mind. Just kidding. Only half kidding. So to wrap this up, Tim, you were involved. You were the mayor pro tem, and you were looking about running for the assembly at one point in time, and now you are thinking about running for the supervisor.
Yeah, so the County Board of Supervisors, there's 5 folks elected to run the county government. So La Habra being in Orange County, I'm a resident of Orange County. Our supervisor is Sean Nelson, and they forced him out next year with term limits, so he's run his course. So the seat for the county supervisor will be open, and I'll probably be the mayor of La Habra at that time. We change in December, so yeah, I might just I'm going to go ahead and run for the county supervisor spot. Hopefully, come in after Sean. He's been a terrific supervisor, and I love working with him. I work with him on the Orange County Transportation Authority board of directors, and just a neat guy. But we need to get someone new. So.
Well, this office has worked with Tim for some time, and if you're an apartment owner and you're looking for someone that is sympathetic to your needs, or if you're a realtor watching this and you want someone that is aware of our issues, Tim is what's your position with the Pacific West?
Government Affairs Director.
So if you're a realtor or an apartment owner, if you're a realtor or an apartment owner, this is your guy. Tim, how do we support you? How do we find out where to donate or to volunteer?
Well, thank you. I have a website up, timshaw4oc.com.
timshaw4oc.com.
Yeah, the number 4. timshaw4oc.com, and you can get a hold of me that way.
So this is a shameless self-promotion for Tim's political career. If you want to help him out as an apartment owner or as a realtor, timshaw4oc.com. Is there a phone number at the city or how to contact you that you want to give out?
My phone number is 562-277-8056. 562-277-8056. Love to hear from anyone on their concerns. Thank
So
you.
if you're an apartment owner or a realtor, get a hold of Tim and have him answer your questions. Thanks for coming in, Tim.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank you so much.